Welcome to MKD Education. Myself Satish Dhar, electrical expert, here to explain you the electrical power generation. You know, electrical power is the essential power for us. In day-to-day life, we are using electricity in our each and every aspect. So here we will discuss about how we are getting electrical energy. So look at the slides and prepare to learn from MKD Education. So look at that. So electrical power, as I said, in our day-to-day life, from sunrise to sunset, in your night also, you are using electrical power. So our understanding or our motto is to make you understood what is the electrical power and from where we are generating the power. You are using your bulb, fan, motor, mobile, everything you are using, and these all are using by help of your electricity. So here some data are there, or here some informations are there where you are getting electrical power. In general way, we are using electrical power in our home appliances, in our home items. We are using electrical power, but in your machinery, whatever you are using in your company, whatever you are using in your lab, whatever you are using in your any industry, the electrical power requirement is very large. So for that thing, there are numbers of systems to get electrical energy. Here we are discussing about three types of system. One is thermal, then your nuclear, then your hydropower plant. So these are our course outcomes. Means after completing the chapter, you can learn about understand the concept of thermal power plant. You can understand the concept, what is the concept behind that. Then the schematic diagram, you can draw your schematic diagram, how the power is producing. Then different components of the use, what are the components used in our power plant and how it has been used. Then the advantages and disadvantages, you can distinguish between what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages. Then you can also choose the site, means where you can build your power plant. Your power plant cannot be built everywhere. So you have, after completing that, you can understood what is the suitable place where you can construct the power plant. Okay. So what is your thermal power plant? As you know, your thermal, the meaning of thermal is very simple. Thermal means heat. So I will just explain you something. Look at here. It is your thermal. Now meaning of the thermal is your heat, is equal to your heat. So thermal power plant. So power plant means what is your first to understand what is your plant. Plant means the numbers of equipments are there, and by the help of that equipment you are getting some output. That is your plant. Numbers of equipment. Okay. So power plant is the same numbers of equipments or the combination of equipments which is getting power, which is producing power. This is your power plant. Then comes to your thermal power plant. So what is your thermal? As I said, your thermal means your heat. Thermal means it is equal to your heat. That means from your heat you are producing your from the heat you are producing your electrical energy. How? Now look at here your heat. How you will produce heat? From combustion. From combustion. So your coal combustion is there. So from the coal you are getting heat. First step. You are producing heat. From the coal you are getting heat. Then what happened? And that heat will produce your steam. Then your production is your steam. And that steam will strike upon your turbine. And the turbine is connected to your alternator. Okay. So with that we are producing your electrical energy. Okay. So in our slide I have put a diagram which will explain you whatever the components present here. So look at the slide. So come to here. This is the total diagram of your power production, means this is your input side and finally you are getting output power here. But what are the things behind that? What are the things present in between that? So first part is your coal storage and coal handling, this one, these two. So as we know, the production of heat is basically depends upon the coal. So when you are using coal and combust the coal inside the boiler, then the boiler produces your heat, and that heat is come in contact with your water, and the water converted to water to steam, and that steam is getting into your turbine, and turbine starts to rotate, and as the turbine is connected to your alternator shaft, the shaft of the alternator and the shaft of the turbine are connected. So when the turbine rotates, your alternator rotates, and you know your alternator is nothing, your three-phase generator. So it will produce your three-phase energy. So finally you are getting the energy. So what is your coal storage and coal handling? What is the requirement? In your coal storage, what happened? Like your normal store in your home, your store is also there. You are putting your any grocery item, you are putting your any ornaments item. These are all small stores are there. So like that for your total power plant, the coal, whatever the requirement of coal, it will carry from your coal storage. So before the coal storage, the coal is carrying from your ore means your mines. From the mine you are getting the coal, and by the help of your rail, by the help of your truck, or by the help of your any other transport medium, you are taking the coal and keeping in your coal storage. It will help to your future use. If any strike is there, then the transportation will hamper, the transportation will be stopped. At that time, whatever the requirement of coal, it can be fulfilled from your coal storage. Next come to your coal handling. What is your handling? Means managing the coal. Whatever the coal you are keeping in your coal storage, the size may be a large size, that may be a small size. So whenever you want to combust the coal, the size should be regular, so that proper burning will be there. For that thing, what happened? Here, one pulverizing unit is present. Pulverizing unit. The function of the pulverizing unit is to pulverize the coal, means break the coal into a small size. You have seen your crusher. In your crusher, your stones are the stones are put in the crusher, and as per our requirement, your small or big size of stones you are getting. Like that, here the crushing also done, and you are getting a regular shape of coal for your boiler. Then inside the boiler, what is the boiler? Now it is just like a vessel. It is a cylindrical. You are seeing that the pen is also a cylindrical shape. Okay, so the vessel or the boiler is present like a cylindrical vessel. In between that, your numbers of pipes are there, numbers of tubes are there, and the burning of your coal will carry it inside the boiler, and you are you are putting water, and the coal is put in the boiler, and you burn the coal. Ignition will be there, and after that, whatever the heat produced, that heat will convert the water into steam, and that steam will flow to your superheater, and whatever the gas produced after combustion, it will be a hot gas, and that hot gas is known as your flue gas. Then what is the output of your boiler? Your output is steam. Another one is your, when your coal combust, after that some huge amount of ash will be there, and that ash should not be kept freely to the outside, or should not be thrown to the outside, or should not be thrown to the water, thrown to the atmosphere directly. So what happened here? Now ash handling plant is there. Here what happened? Whatever the ash produced, it will put into your handling plant. It will mix with the water to reduce the temperature and to safely carry to one place to another place. So it will mix with your water, and it is carried to ash storage. You have listened the word your ash pond. In numbers of news also, news जो देखुथुव, news जानी पारथुव, last time तमर NTPC रो ash pond भांगी जाइथिला. So that ash pond is known as your ash storage. Where ash जो पाउस whatever after burning the coal, whatever the particle present, that is called ash, and that ash will put into your a large pond will be there, and inside the pond it will kept. So this is called your ash storage. So this part is over. Then boiler. Boiler is of your two type. One is fire tube and one is your water tube. If the fire is present inside the tube, it is known as fire tube. If the water present inside the tube, it is known as water tube boiler. Okay. Then the production of steam, or after producing the steam, whatever the heat gas produced, that is known as your flue gas. Okay. So for the exhausting of the flue gas, finally we are using a chimney. You have seen the chimney in your number of plant. You have seen in the roadside. Some chimneys are there also. So as the temperature of the gas is more, we can also utilize the temperature for our beneficial purpose. So what is the first beneficial purpose? Now superheater. First one is your superheater. So like your man, Superman. Like your man and Superman, you can take the case of your superheater. Heater, superheater. Means heater where it will heat, and superheater where it will heat to the more extent, to the large extent, or to the above the boiling point, you can say. So what is the function of superheater? It will superheat the steam, or it will increase the temperature of the steam above the boiling point. Okay. So here the steam is getting out, and if we add or if we strike the flue gas inside the steam, then the temperature also increases. So what happened? Now due to that, your steam get dry. Means it will free from moisture. It will more free from moisture. So as a result, your turbine blade will not corrode, because the turbine blade is made of your copper. Okay. So wet steam will damage your turbine blade. So if we put the flue gas through the superheater, then the steam temperature increases as well as its moisture containing capacity or moisture will reduce. Okay. So then comes to economizer. What is your economizer? Now it is a water inlet. Your economizer is water inlet to your boiler. So in your economizer, we are increasing the temperature of feed water. Whatever the water feed in the boiler, because in your boiler our requirement is coal, gas, or your normal air for your proper burning, and your water. So if you put a cold water inside the boiler, then the amount of heat produced, for the proper production of the amount of heat, your requirement of coal will be more. So if we increase the temperature of the water up to some extent, then the boiler will increase its efficiency, or efficiency of the boiler increases, and the requirement of coal will also reduced. So for that thing, we are using economizer here, where we are putting the water, and the water is getting some increase its temperature by the help of flue gas. Again also we are finding the temperature of flue gas also present in your after two steps. First step is a superheater, second step is a economizer. After that also we are seeing that, or we can find that the temperature of the flue gas also there. Means the temperature is also high. So if we put through air, if we put the flue gas through your air, then what happens? The air get the heated, and its temperature, flue gas temperature, reduce. So for putting the air inside the boiler, you are using forced draught fan. So what is the purpose of the fan? And it will forcefully push the air. It will forcefully push the air inside the boiler. So that what happened? And the boiler get air, and the burning will be takes place easily. Then what happened? The flue gas journey starts here and cover the superheater, cover the economizer, then cover the air preheater. Then its target is to find out your outside through your chimney. So for carrying the flue gas up to this extent, up to a large part, we are using one induced draught fan. Induced draught fan. What is the function? It will forcefully induce, means forcefully pull your flue gas through the chimney. Okay. So it will pull the gas to the chimney so that the circle will be, or the path will be smoothly, it will flow your flue gas to the chimney, and inside the in the above the chimney it will get out to the atmosphere. Okay. So then comes to your valve present here. So this part completed, and a boiler section also completed. Then the flue gas section, what is the flue gas flowing, this part also completed. So here we have completed this part, your coal handling and the coal section, R section completed. Boiler also completed. Then the flue gas path up to your chimney, this part is completed. Then comes to your valve. So what is the function of valve? Just memorize, just think that in your bathroom or in your normal home also, the taps are present. What is the function of the tap? Now it will regulate the flow of water. In your basin also tap is present. You are opening the tap and closing the tap. You are opening the tap and closing the tap by which regulate the flow of water. Here also the function of the valve is it regulates the flow of superheated steam into your turbine. Okay, so you open the valve, the steam will be forcefully, the steam will put into the turbine, and if you close the valve, it will flow its regulation. Then the turbine, what is the function of turbine? It will rotate. The turbine is a mechanical thing, it will only rotate. It will rotate, and the shaft of the turbine is connected to your alternator, and the alternator rotate. And similarly, after rotating the alternator, it will produce your electrical energy. Okay. Then comes to your exhaust stream. So below that one condenser is there. What is the function of the condenser? It will condense. It will reduce the temperature of your steam. Look at here. In the superheater, the steam temperature is high, and in the turbine, the high temperature steam is utilized in your turbine, and after that it is getting out. So the high temperature steam, you cannot put the steam directly to your in a stream. In a river, you cannot put. So what happened? You have to reduce the temperature, and that reduction of the temperature is carried out in your condenser. It will condense. It will condense the temperature of your steam and convert the steam into water. So here you are getting high temperature steam. Here you are getting high temperature water. Okay. Okay. Then what happened? Then below that cooling tower is there. After condenser also, the temperature of the water is very high. So our requirement is, or our purpose is to cool the temperature. So now that hot water is coming to your cooling tower, and in the cooling tower it will reduce its temperature. So how the cooling tower is present? It will like your steps, numbers of steps is present. Upon that you are putting your water, and the water will comes like that. And naturally it will reduce its temperature. Okay, you have seen your stream. You have seen your stream. In your stream, the water is flowing like that. So in the same way, if we are putting the hot water, it also reduces its temperature. So in our cooling tower, the temperature reduced. And if we need that cold water to put into the river, you can directly put into the river. Okay, but in general case, the water is not directly put into the river, because the water, whatever the water taken from the river, that same water is not directly fed to your boiler, because the water contains some hardness, the water contains some mineral parts which will destroy or which will corrode your boiler tubes. So before putting the water to your economizer, water treatment should be there. You have to treat the water. You have to reduce the hardness of the water, so that it will betterment, or it will be betterly used for our boiler. So in your water treatment chamber, what happened? It will reduce its hardness. It will remove its oxygen content and directly fed into the economizer through your circulating pumps or feeding pumps are there. It will carry the water into your economizer, and in economizer it will increase its temperature and directly put into the boiler. These all are your schematic diagram, and the components are present, and the function of the components I have written in my next slide. You can see The coal storage, coal handling, where storing of the coal is there, and pulverizing of the coal is there. Then your ash handling and ash storage, where you are handling the ash or storing your ash pond, and the data is there. Whatever your used coal, the 10 to 15% of the coal, the percentage, the amount of coal will getting into your ash. So think that if you are using 1 kg of coal, you are getting 10% of your ash or 15% of your ash. So accordingly in your boiler huge amount of coals are used, and accordingly you are getting your ash. So proper treatment of the ash will be there and proper storage place will be there. Then your boiler where your steam produced by the help of your coal burning and water. Then superheater, you are increasing the temperature of your steam. Then economizer, you are increasing the temperature of your feed water. Then air preheater, increasing the temperature of your feed air for betterment of your combustion. Then FD and ID, it is your, in short form I have written, forced draught fan and induced draught fan. It is pulling and pushing of your air inside the boiler and pulling of your flue gas outside the chimney. Then condenser, it will reduce the temperature of your steam and convert the steam into water. Cooling tower, it reduces the temperature of your water. Then water treatment plant, remove the minerals, deoxidize the water. Your deoxidize means removing the oxidation, removing the oxygen part. Then these are advantages and disadvantages. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? In every plant, in every things, there may be present your advantages. Not maybe, the advantages also present along with that some disadvantages also there. So what are the advantages? The construction is simple. Means for building up your power plant, the construction is somehow it is simply you can construct. Then the low initial cost. Your initial means starting cost is generally low. But then fuel cost is coal. In our India, we are getting coal in a cheap rate. So low fuel cost also you can get in your power plant. You can get your low fuel cost. Then as compared to hydropower plant, the area requirement is also less. Then what are the disadvantages? Now the running cost means the cost required for the day-to-day running of the power plant. Means you have to carry the coal, pulverize the coal, then put the coal into the boiler, then put out your ash in a proper place. Then the circulation of the flue gas will be there. Water treatment is there. So day to day, you are using different processes. For that thing, your cost also high, and it is not environment friendly. As the production of the huge amount of ash is there, I have given the data 10 to 15% of the coal is get into your ash, and temperature is also there, dust parts also there. So it will not fit for our environment. Okay. Then come to your choice of site. So in which place we can construct the power plant? You can understood that you can say that the requirement of power plant is water. The requirement of power plant is carrying the equipments to a proper place, and the requirement of power plant is the land cost. So basically these are your these are those sites, or these are the area, or before building your power plant you can put on or important aspect. These are availability of coal and water. Coal availability and water availability should be there. Distance from population. Population from the populated area, it will if the distance from population is more, then it will not hazardous for your human being, or the whatever the dust produced there, it will not hazardous for your environment. Then cost and type of land. Whatever the production, it will your cost effective one. So you have to choose the area where the land cost will be minimum or as per our suitability. Then transportation facility of the equipment for the products, for the building of your boiler, for building of a turbine, for carrying of your generator, all are there. So huge machineries are there. So transportation cost must be there. So it should be a place where the transportation should be facilities should be easy or suitable. So these are our normally your production of the power from your thermal power plant. Okay. So these are the key points whatever we have discussed. Introduction of the thermal power plant, schematic diagram, then different equipments, whatever the equipment present, then choice of site and advantages, disadvantages. Okay, these are our key points already covered, and we are having some important questions whatever regularly coming in our exam, or it may become in your semester exam. These are the important questions. So for long questions, it may become explain briefly the thermal power generation with the schematic diagram, where you have to write down the definition, draw the diagram, and mention the equipments and the description of the equipments. Then what are the function of economizer? This may be a short type question or short note. Then function of superheater, then function of air preheater. These three are short notes, and from these three anyone is coming in your regular exams, I have seen. And then what are the advantages and disadvantages of the thermal power plant over any other power plant? So this is the different questions you have to follow for your semester exam, for your internal exam also. And in my notes I have prepared briefly whatever the diagrams present, briefly your content, briefly your advantages and disadvantages. You can follow my notes, follow our MKD education for your betterment of your education. Thank you.